red.
Mine's
Let's
so
go.
terrible. This just does not fit my head even when I don't have a headset on.
I've been saying that I want one for a year. Let's go, yo. Oh my god. They too mentioned you and Queen Blaze the first time, and I'm like, oh, there's actually, I got peers at the same level.
Yeah.
On the same point. You're a bit ahead now. We gotta be careful.
Yes, I will be so careful not to spoil anything because we've established this. I'm a little bit ahead. I'm in the next arc. I'm not in Thriller Bark anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll be very careful, but I'm pretty good at not spoiling things, I think.
But it's a different level when you talk to somebody that's on the same level, because you know, you don't have to be careful, spoilers and everything.
Yeah.
You can just, you know, let it out. Because I'm always, you know, walking on eggshells when I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah, when someone's
already watched
seen parts of the show that you haven't seen, all of their like opinions are always going to be like changed by what happens later in the show. If someone's favorite character is Sanji, but they know something really awesome Sanji did in episode 700 or whatever, like that's gonna be influencing them on what Sanji does in episode 200.
100%, bro. We're gonna talk about that, the different types of fans in like in anime generally, but yeah, we're gonna talk specifically about One Piece. I'm so interested to pick Gent's brain because I need to know everything about his journey. So
I'm a little nervous because I feel like I have been watching the show in like a sort of contained bubble where like I've been talking about my thoughts on like straight to the comments, and I've been hearing some things that comments are saying, but it's always related to things that I say, and I know my opinions on things. Like I skew extremely positive when it comes to doing series. I tend to be super optimistic about stuff, and so I feel like we're gonna have vastly different opinions on certain things.
It's amazing how I've had spoiler-free comments all the time, and most of them are very respectful, and they're like, "Yo, spoiler alert," and then they just comment way below and so on.
I think if there's comments that I've had spoiling me, I don't think any of them have been on One Piece videos. I've had some other series where people are very bad about spoiling me on stuff, and they'll like confirm stuff that happens way later in the show. But with One Piece, like with the One Piece people have been amazing, so good.
I want to be one of them for a moment, because I when they told me about you, I really like your content, and I love how engaged you are. So I want to be one of them and do them a favor and ask you, why did you start One Piece?
Oh well, I'll tell you.
Why One Piece? Because it's not an easy decision.
No, it was a big decision. Well, I'll tell you because it's funny. When I was a kid and One Piece was like on TV sometimes, or I would see things of it online. I can tell you with confidence, when I was a kid, I hated One Piece. I genuinely I really, really hated it. I hated like everything I saw.
Why?
I hated everything I saw of Luffy. Like I thought he was really annoying. I hated any sort of stretchy powers in any TV shows or movies.
Yeah. You hated the dude from Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I hated the dude from Fantastic Four.
You hated Elastic Mom?
Elastigirl in Incredibles. No, I liked her, but she's attractive. It's a different thing. But I generally hated that.
Amazing 180.
Yeah.
Amazing 180, guys. Amazing 180.
I made a video on my Gent Watches reaction channel of doing the reaction to all the openings of One Piece. And like I just did it because like people watch One Piece, and I thought it'd be interesting to see like someone's perspective from someone who doesn't watch it or whatever. And a lot of people in the comments of that video said like, I've seen your content, I've seen the sorts of things you like, you would like One Piece. And I go,
you watched all 26 of them?
Yeah, I did.
Or something.
Or however many there were at the time. Yeah, I watched all of them. But I don't remember them, so I don't remember what happens in the later ones.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I'm gonna start it, and if it's not doing well, I'll stop. But I'll keep going if people keep liking it. And people keep liking it, and now it's one of my favorite shows. I love it. I love One Piece so much.
It's insane. Look at the 180, guys. So that's how you started it. But when you watched all 26, you really don't remember anything.
I remember like little like flashes in my mind, but most of the stuff that I do remember, we've already seen. We're past it. So like I remembered a lot of the characters. I knew like Nico Robin was in the show going into it and stuff. Like I remembered her specifically, and There was a lot of things like that, but I think there's only one other thing that I remember a flash of. I won't say what it is, and I think I've like mentioned it in my videos. I don't think we've hit it yet. And there's also, when I was a kid, there was like 1 or 2 episodes of the show that I saw that I remember those episodes, but like, and so I have out of context.
Specifically?
I have like out of context fights that I saw, and we haven't seen them yet.
But I bet you were grumpy watching them. Like,
well, I was trying it out. I was like, all right, I'll give this show a shot. And then I watched it, and it was super out of context, and I had no idea what was going on. And I went, nah.
Did you have besides just the rubber thing? Did you have friends that were fans and it just annoyed you? You know how we can be when we were young.
I don't think any of my friends liked One Piece. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh person. The friends that I made were mostly
like a Yu-Gi-Oh person.
Yeah, the friends that I made mostly watched Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff. Who was in your class that loved Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh my god, everybody.
That's
everybody.
Great.
When I was like in middle school, everybody. Yu-Gi-Oh old days. It was Yu-Gi-Oh and Beyblade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Beyblade kid. Yeah, I was a huge Beyblade kid. But so and when you finally made just earlier we were talking about it real quick. You were on YouTube before your reaction channel.
Yeah, so I've been on YouTube for a really long time. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be able to show on the camera. I do have a silver play button up there from a previous.
Let's go.
From a previous YouTube channel.
Come on, guys! Can we get some claps in the chat? What the fuck?
This
guy's an OG.
I had like personal YouTube channels, and I've done like joking YouTube channels, and then I had a YouTube channel that was like a family-friendly gaming channel for a long time called Gent Plays, and that's
faceless.
No, I had my face on it, and that's where I got the silver play button. And then I, at some point, like what I really wanted to do was do anime videos because I just loved anime, and so I went into doing this.
Since day one, okay, this is the perfect
segue?
Perfect bridge to that, because yes, perfect segue, because what was your first anime, all-time favorite? I mean, One Piece is happening right now. All-time favorite, first anime. Those things. We can start with those 2 things.
Okay, and you're gonna answer them 2 after I do?
Oh, I got you.
Okay, all right. So
for sure.
First anime, man, ever? Like even when I was a kid?
Ever, yeah. Because mine is very clear. Although I didn't finish it all the way, but
I think my first anime would have had to have been Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. Like that was what I didn't even know it was anime at the time. I thought that was like an American cartoon. I absolutely had no idea. And favorite anime ever? Favorite anime ever is probably Haikyuu, the volleyball anime.
Man,
I love Haikyuu.
List.
Oh,
I've never touched Haikyuu.
If you like hype and if you like character work, Haikyuu has some of the best character work in the business. Like nothing has compared for me.
I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm really excited out there.
What's great about One Piece a lot of the time is the depth of the characters and the stuff that like kids can't even really understand, like Luffy's motivations, and like they can't understand like why he's an interesting protagonist and why there's this whole like really cool crew and how their powers work. There's a lot of like complex stuff that doesn't come through to kids.
Exactly, and it is hard to get to it. But the thing is, imagine if Luffy wasn't as goofy. Right? Imagine if Luffy wasn't as goofy. Imagine if he was the whole time like Shanks and I don't know, Blackbeard or whatever. If he was just serious pirate, because I've said this so many times, I forget we're dealing with pirates. I forget that we are pirates because of how much fun we're having. Like every time I see Zoro, I'm like, oh yeah, we're pirates. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, we should. You know what I mean?
Something really funny about that is like when my sister started watching One Piece and she was like in early bits of One Piece and she was constantly laughing whenever Luffy would say something like pirates are people who are all about freedom and pirates are great and whatever, and she was laughing and I was like, what are you laughing at? And she's like, we're talking about pirates, right? And I went, the series had just won me over so much that in my mind pirates are just good guys that do things for freedom.
Exactly. I keep forgetting that Luffy and the Straw Hats, they're outliers, and specifically Luffy because he's just always positive and simple-minded and you know what I mean, things can go over his head except when it comes to the things that matter to him. But I keep forgetting that they are pirates. That's why the feeling of the live action One Piece, it brought me back to reality. I'm like, the music, the cinematography, the color, everything was just like, oh, we're pirates. Duh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We should be scary, but you know, Luffy being Luffy.
Absolutely.
For me, bro, I'll never forget it. It's Dragon Ball, and it was a German channel. I don't know why, out of everything, it was like a German channel. It was Dragon Ball. It was Dragon Ball Goku, and but then it stopped. I never went too deep into it until my all-time favorite came into my life, Naruto.
Yep. Yeah, you struck me.
Around.
You definitely struck me as a Dragon Ball and Naruto person when I just hear you talk about stuff. I'm like, this guy likes Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So you are into anime, and finally you just trusted your community, the people that said, oh, you should give it a shot because depending on what you like.
Well, I also to be fair to myself as well, like even though I knew I didn't like One Piece at the time, I had said before that like the thing that I do like about One Piece is the fact that there's so many episodes, because I'm someone who I love really long things because I like seeing characters grow over time and staying with them for long periods of time. I don't actually watch that many movies or anything because you're with the characters for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then you leave the theater and it's done. But I like being with characters for a long period of time. So I went, I wish I can get into One Piece because there's a lot of episodes to really dive into it. So when the community,
the number of episodes didn't scare you.
It encouraged me. The number of episodes was to me the best part of it. And it just took the community going like, no, you specifically, the things you say you like about these other shows that you're watching, all of those are present times 10 in One Piece. So go check out One Piece.
Yo,
and I was like,
side note, that's how people get you. You know, that's a good tactic. Everybody, I don't know, who does psychology here, that's a good tactic. You specifically. You should start this.
They made me feel special.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's a good tactic. They be like, yo, we have so much data on you. You would love this. The way your personality is, A, B, Z. And then you're like, these people love me. You get this one feeling, these people love me so good.
They love me. They love One Piece. One Piece must be great.
Exactly. And then in the background, they just say like, look at him. He believed us.
Yeah, we got that guy.
You know me, I pride myself with not faking nothing. So I was just like, what is this animation? One of the guys in the ship, his hand looked like this. Bro, he had no fingers. He's like, oh, we're getting attacked by a ship that has a heart on it. What the?
If that's the case, I have a question for you. If that was how you felt, when did One Piece sell you on it then?
Zoro being detained.
Oh, so that's like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean,
like when did it win you over?
The win me over is a way far ahead.
Okay.
But the intrigued me was Zoro. The moment I heard that Zoro guitar, that riff, that riff when we go from the water, Kobe and Luffy and then all of a sudden we just zoom into this island and then like
I think that's just end of episode 1 then. I think that's what it was.
End of episode 1. Because I have an image of Zoro, but at the same time I know this is way earlier. That music, and I'm like, okay, here we go. I want to know about him. I don't know if you watched my first reaction. I started One Piece a while ago and then stopped it.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched 7 episodes. Some of my One Piece family already know, but I have 2 friends. They pushed me, watch One Piece, and so on.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're like, if you really love the storytelling of Attack on Titan, which it was, you know, the period I watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta watch One Piece, and I gave in. But I had so much finals going on, like I was in uni and so on. I had to pause. I couldn't stick to it.
Yeah, and what I had also heard from fans is like the idea of like 1,000 and whatever episodes sounds like a lot. When you get to the end of those 1,000 episodes, all you want is more. Yeah. Like you're just thinking to yourself like, that's not enough episodes. We need more.
Isn't that insane though? Because haven't you started getting that feeling? Because I talked about it a little bit in the last month that I went from, oh my god, 1,000 is a lot, to damn, one day this will be over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, sometimes I'm planning how many episodes I'm gonna do, and generally I do 7 episodes a week, basically.
Yeah.
And like, and when I'm planning it, I'm going, okay, well, I'll be on this episode here and this episode here, and then I think like, I don't want to add more episodes a week because then the show will be done quicker. Like, I don't want to be done in 6 months. I want to spend the next couple years doing the show at least.
Exactly. I used to do only, what was it, 2 videos a week before I went to 3, which is, I mean, 2 episodes per video, which is like 6. I used to do 2, and when I went to 3, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm, you know, giving people what they want, which is more episodes. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to be a bit selfish. I don't want to finish fast.
Yeah. And I mean, especially with the way One Piece is paced, like once we get to weekly, doing 1 episode a week, you're going to get like 7 lines of dialogue per week. Like there's not going to be like a crazy amount that you're going to be able to discuss every week.
Yo, can we just say that I think I can speak for both of us. I feel bad for you guys who have to wait every week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I've said this once in my channel. I want to tell you, Jent, that don't you think it's so impressive how Oda already makes sure that he lets you know that these people, let's just take Skypiea for example, although a lot of people don't, I don't know, enjoy Skypiea. It's in my top 3 for now.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, 100%. Skypiea, for example, don't you love it that it's happened in Skypiea, it happened in War 7? Don't you love it that they're already living their life? They already have their own thing, their wars, their fighting, their emotions and everything. Yeah. And we're just peeking in.
Yeah, a huge thing, like this is a thing that the One Piece fan base loves, like as a whole as well as me, is the idea like after an arc concludes or we've done a bunch of an arc or whatever, and it starts to go, okay, that's what the Straw Hats are doing. Now over here, here's what Shanks is doing. Here's what like Blackbeard is doing, and it shows all this other stuff. And what it like, and they're always like progressed in whatever they're doing. It makes it feel like that while the Straw Hats are working, the world isn't put on pause. Everything's progressing.
No,
everything's moving forward. Like these people that like you're like, oh, they're gonna be a villain one day. You're watching them, and then while we're not dealing with them, we come back to them and it's like they're stronger now. They're better. Like they're gonna be even more of a problem if we come across them.
Yeah, and that's why what's it called? I loved, or I couldn't relax. I mean, I can't relax now in Thriller Bark. In the back of my head, I'm like, what has happened to Ace? What has happened to Ace? What has happened to Ace? Because his fight with Blackbeard started 3 days before the incident of Enies Lobby, you know, the whole chaos, not when we arrived. So I'm like, and Oda's so good at, you know, keeping it parallel and so on. I was like, oh my God. So the moment Kuma arrived, I'm like, shut up. What do you want? Why are you here? Why are you even talking about Ace? But I don't want to get into that because I don't get any spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
Guys, please no spoilers in the chat because I'm trying to read. Okay, I don't want to get into that now. Anyways.
Nithil saying, we are our own version of Straw Hat Pirates and Gent is Sanji. It's so funny.
Oh, wait.
Like,
was he? Can you explain?
Well, people know that I'm a massive simp when I watch stuff.
Oh, wait a minute! So, thank you, whoever said that.
I simp for female characters in every show I watch, but especially in One Piece so often.
I mean, a lot of us do, but Sanji level is criminal.
Well, that's the problem, is like saying that after like I've been posting the Sanji versus Absalom stuff on my YouTube channel lately, right? And it's like in that battle, Sanji does not come across great in that battle.
He had the bag and he just fumbled. No, what is going on?
Because I love Sanji. I think Sanji's awesome. But like I had so much faith in him going into that battle. I was like, Absalom is horrible, but Sanji, he's the good one. He's a good guy. Like he's gonna come in and he's gonna like show Absalom why, you know, simping can only be taken to a certain level or whatever. And then Sanji comes in and he says stuff that I'm like, Sanji, no, don't make me feel bad.
Insane. I made an edit. It actually did like decent on TikTok, and I had so much faith in him.
Someone's calling you out, saying that you said God Robin's hot originally, apparently.
Because yeah, people who watch my channel, they know. At the end of Water 7, I'm like, why is she like so shy and like acting all modest and stuff? Everybody's trying to have fun. Everybody's in like bikinis or whatever, and she's like, no, like I don't know, busy talking to Aokiji. And then through the bar comes and she's like, what's up?
This is brilliant. How long so it only took me half an hour to skew this conversation to women, and I'm ecstatic about it.
I could not simp on a lot of characters. I mean, Nami, the forehead is just crazy for me. So I don't know, the forehead throws me up.
I'm not
man. As long as her hair does not get wet and her forehead stays like normal, she's like, she's hot, but that forehead is crazy.
Right.
And she's annoying.
All right, we're done here.
I'm sorry. Okay. You know what? No. I don't want us to have I don't want us to start this way. No, never mind. He created that character. Show me what you got in your hand.
I'm looking at a picture of Nami that I have like on my.
Yeah.
It's a. Because I'm trying to see the forehead thing. I guess I can see she does have like a
I mean, bro, you want I have kind of like a good photographic memory. Water 7, party, bikini. She got out of the pool. Hey yo.
Hey, well, look.
The biggest yo.
More Nami for me. I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it.
Sure. I don't wanna, cause,
Not a rift.
Say there's war between. What did you always enjoy Sanji simping?
No. I like the way they handle Sanji simping in the live action, where he's more of a flirt, like where he's like kind of smooth with it, and he doesn't overstep any bounds and stuff. I like when Sanji's like that. When like Sanji, I am not a huge fan of generally when he goes too far with it, but I've talked about this
he didn't go far that many times.
Yeah, it's only like a few moments where I'm like not a huge fan of what Sanji does, but I don't know, they play it for laughs, so it's hard to like criticize it because it's just a joke, so it doesn't matter that much. Anyway, what were you saying about Nami? Do I find it annoying?
Nami, so what do you think of her attacks? Well, like when she calls her attacks, you think they're cool? This is such a specific question, but
well, I know the reason you're asking is probably because you don't think they're cool. But I actually I like them. I'll tell you my only problem with Nami's attacks, and I'll tell you this because basically everything else about it I like. The animation of Nami's attacks, I think, is animated too slow. That's the only thing. I think like when she does like a thunder temple or whatever and throws the thing and the orb goes bloop 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 and then goes into thing, like that's a little too slow. I think if she went thunder tempo, bam, into the thing, it would look a lot cooler and come out. But 100%. Like I actually do love her power set type stuff because I love her navigator personality, and I love that they find a way to incorporate her weather intelligence into combat scenes.
100%. I love her
and I love that she just like I love that she just shocks people with thunder. Like I think her just being able to take down a whole group of people with thunder, but only because of her intelligence is great.
For example, like the whole slow bloop bloop bloop, she's doing that on somebody that can shave.
Yeah, that is like, and that's, I think, like, as I said, I think that's a problem probably with the way it's animated rather than, because in the manga, I imagine it's panels. And so in one panel, she's about to do a thing, and then in the other panel, she's done it. That's what I imagine is happening. So in the anime, they're trying to buy time and show you what's happening, but it looks really slow. That happens with a lot of anime, is like
with a lot of things. I think it's anime timing. I try to discuss as much as possible throughout the video, and I like that you have discussion portions, and I think a lot of your subscribers appreciate it.
I recognize you guys from the comments, and I really appreciate it because I do sometimes I'll talk about the show for a long time in those discussion sections. I think because I do that, people give me sometimes like really long interesting comments back that are like replying to things that I said and discussions. And I think and Golden Zebra, who just commented as well, absolutely, shout out to you.
Hey, shout out Golden Zebra.
Golden Zebra is one of the reasons this stream is happening. I really appreciate that because I do like large discussions. My commenters tend to be like super insightful in the comments as well. I find the more I go in depth, the more like commenters that like going in depth flood towards the comments, and I really appreciate that.